2K Sports pregame show.
Hey, Ernie Johnson here, and I'm joined by Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. And tonight, it'll be the Houston Rockets going up against the Washington Wizards. And guys, for the Wizards, playing above 500 in the last few weeks, not bad. They'd like to do better. We'll see if they can add a win tonight. And some of the best guards in the league facing off tonight, different skill sets, different styles. Kenny, if you had to build a guard from scratch, what are some of the characteristics you'd look for?
Oh, no question. I'd take the shooting touch of Steph Curry. I'd take the
He makes it look
Steph-erless. I'd take the toughness of Russell Westbrook. I'd take the basketball savvy of Chris Paul. And I'd throw
You take the defense of...
I'll take the defense of Tony Allen and throw it all together. You wouldn't put that together, Shaq? That's making you tired and sleepy? Wake up!
Is this boring you?
I would want toughness. You have to be able to switch on to certain players, the bigger players, and I would like the leadership.
And give me the size of Michael Carter-Williams at the point.
The size of Michael Carter. How about the size of Magic Johnson?
No, that's a little bit too big.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because later on in his career.
Huh?
Wake up, man.
What happened?
Leadership.
Oh, sorry.
And I'll take the ability not to go to sleep like Shaq.
Well, if you answer the question.
I'm Kevin Harlan, joined by Chris Webber and Greg Anthony. David Aldridge is our sideline reporter. They're just off a road trip, and the Wizards are looking to settle back here at home, winning their last 3 games. They'd like to make that 4 in a row here tonight.
And they're playing some of the most impressive basketball we've seen all season in the NBA. It's hard to think of any team that's played better than they have during this streak.
Oh, man, yeah, think about it. Even the coaching, yeah, you named it. They've done it right. The lineups, the play calling, the execution. Everybody and everything's working together.
Let's get a quick pregame update from David Aldridge, who had a chance to talk with head coach Scott Brooks.
Guys, he told me their primary focus of the pregame discussion was defense. He said they're dealing with a very sophisticated offense, and it's going to require an outstanding effort from his players at the defensive end to come out on top. Let's see if that's the effort they get. Guys.
Thanks, David. Well, we always hear from NBA players that a win is a win. But, Chris, in all honesty, do some wins mean a lot more to players than others during the regular season?
You know, I know it sounds cliche, but not really. That really is the truth. You know, you may have 1 or 2 games that mean more, maybe Christmas, maybe against a rivalry, an old player. But you have to understand this. The whole mentality of lasting in this league is not to get 2 up or 2 down. If you get 2 up because you're playing against the Lakers, then, you know, you're going to lose against the Pistons the next night because you're not respecting them the same. You have to respect every team, fear every team the same. And so just circling one in red kind of shows that you're not respecting the next team, which sets up for a letdown. And so I think that's a good practice to have. Every game means the same, but human nature kicks in, and some are going to mean more than others.
That is really interesting. Here's the starting group for Houston. The 2 pillars of this team, Chris Paul and Harden, are the 1 and the 2. Ariza and Anderson holding down the forward spots. And it's Capella in at the 5, patrolling the paint. Ariza with the bucket.
Ariza just totally broke down the defense, exploiting any space they gave him off that pass.
Wall against Paul. Wall passes to Morris. With some arc. Here's Gortat, and there's a whistle. He was going up for a layup, and while it looked like there was some contact, I wasn't sure they were going to call it a foul shot or not, but sure enough they have. So he'll head to the free throw line.
A lot of players who are the age of Gortat would have started to slow down a bit. He's bucking that trend and continues to produce well. A very steady presence for his team in the paint.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one at the line is good.
Now, the size and the length of Gortat, it comes in handy on both ends of the floor. I mean, he's a solid and more than reliable big man with a soft J.
Both free throws good for Marcin Gortat. And about a minute gone here in the first quarter. Ball against Paul. Feeds it to Harden. The shot. And a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. Harden's got his first 2 points. Chris, with Gortat, as you mentioned, he's right up there in age, but he's still doing what he's done his whole career.
Yeah, and a lot of it has to do with just how efficient Gortat has been as a scorer his whole career. He knows exactly what he can do and can't do in the paint when he's facing up. He has a career field goal percentage that's around 55. I mean, that's very strong numbers for him. Showing off in the face of the defense, which didn't show up at all on that play.
And in the first, a little over a minute and a half in. All with it. He played real well against Atlanta in that last game. There's a screen by Gortat. And Beal kicks to Wall. 5 on the clock. Tries to save it. A finish, and Harden with the stuff.
Fruitful possession, just doing what they can to extend the lead.
And that's what you have to do. Stay in the moment. Keep grinding.
Here's Morris. Lays it up and banks it in. Morris has got his first 2 points of the night.
And they can breathe a little easier on their fourth shot. They finally hit the target.
Rockets have gotten 4 of 6 field goal attempts to drop in the first quarter. Paul dishes to Harden. He kicks it to Ariza. And another 3 for Houston.
Oh, Harden is so good at finding the open man and a selfish superstar who really whips the ball over quickly.
Now here's Wall. Very solid contribution from him as he averages over 20 points a game. Gortat misses.
I'm a fan of anybody who defends that way. I mean, they weren't about to open the door and just allow him to cruise in for a layup.
Now here's Paul. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Celtics in Boston.
Just enough coverage to bother that 3-point attempt.
Porter passes to Wall. And Wall slams it home.
You gotta enjoy watching Wall take flight. He's a sensational dunk artist.
And that last replay courtesy of Under Armour. Another unleashed chaos moment. Here is Harden. He had a 27-point outing in their last game against Boston. And the wide open shot from Paul. Off target from outside.
And on an open look like that, he's very gifted at making the weak coverage pay.
And Chris Paul picks up the foul. That's his first foul.
And really, these are some of the toughest calls an official has to make.
And we're just over 3.5 minutes into the first quarter. There's a screen by Gortat. Beal gets a wide open look. And that comes off the assist by John Wall.
Well, Beal's ability to find open space in those areas on the court, I mean, it's so impressive, especially off the pick and roll.
Left side Anderson. To the inside. Gortat with the steal. 4-on-3 break. Here's Morris. The shot off that time. Good D by Ariza. Rockets leading by 4. Paul fouled in the act of shooting. A 3-point play chance coming up.
And the story here, Kevin, early on is how well they've shot the basketball. And, well, Chris Paul signing the big contract this past offseason. And, you know, you knew he'd end up with one of the biggest deals out there. And his impact on a team goes far beyond just stats.
Free throw good, Paul. Well, Greg, Houston wanted Chris Paul, and they got their man. One of the bigger surprises, certainly, of the offseason.
Yeah, and without Paul on this roster, this team isn't in the conversation for winning. You need him to keep your window of winning open, and he is just that impactful and makes everyone on.
Oh, goodness. Wow. Great way to attack the rim with that ferocity. I love the intensity the Wall plays with. When he's penetrating, he's looking to dunk it every time.
Ariza against Porter. Ariza kicks to Capella. 6 to shoot. Here's Harden. Again, the Rockets score. Here's Wall. Outside Porter. The Wizards working the ball around now. They blow the whistle just as he gets it off. That's 2 points with a chance for another one at the stripe.
Okay, look, if you're going to foul Morris, you got to foul him hard. When you don't, he uses his muscle to finish open. You know, they used to say Markieff Morris was once a locker room distraction, but he's found a home here. He seems more at peace with the situation. He's putting up solid numbers at the forward spot.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
Free throw good from Morris. We talked to Markieff Morris about those times in Phoenix. He and Coach Hornacek still talk as they went their separate ways. Seems it was just a bad situation for everyone.
Oh, yeah, when you're on a sinking ship, everyone will lash out. I'm glad Morris has put that behind him and able just to concentrate on playing basketball.
Here's Ariza. Kicks it out to Harden. Tries again. Gortat with the rebound. Gortat's got his 3rd rebound on the night. Knocked loose and stolen by Ariza. By himself, and it's slammed in by Ariza.
I mean, look at those big mitts of Ariza. I mean, they just can't be forgotten. Using them to paw away the ball and create chances for his team.
Now Wall. And Capella sends it back. Harden dishes to Ariza. Great D that time from Beal. Wizards trail by 6. Porter with it. And it's Harden picking him up. Passes it to Gortat. Shoots over Capella. He hits the back iron and sinks the shot.
Oh, and the jumper of Gortat is butter. I mean, I love watching him square up from the mid-range.
Here is Harden. He has 6. Ariza, right side. It's good. The assist that time from Harden. Harden's got 3 assists now in this one.
Something lit a fire under him this quarter. Their lead safe as long as he's on the floor.
Morris with the screen for Wall. And Gortat kicks to Porter. Dishes it to Morris. Over Anderson. Morris, no good. Rockets leading by 6. To the middle. Kicks it out to Harden. From the arc. Gortat with the rebound. Gortat's got 4 rebounds in this game. Beal with it. Chris Paul covering. Beal the pass to Gortat. That's basket number 2 with his 3rd shot off to a fast 2 for 3.
Gortat uses his athleticism on these type of finishes. He gets it done even in the face of the defense.
And Houston calls their first time out of the game. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing that last matchup with Boston.
And that was a stinker. I mean, that's one of those games where you really can't find anything that they did well. The game just got out of hand and really just a shaky performance across the board.
And they tried to adjust, but every play they ran got countered by a better one.
And the Wizards are going with a whole new group out there now. Houston making some changes. Rockets leading by 4. And here's Gordon. He's playing a pretty big role for him at the offensive end, averaging about 12.5 points a game. Here is Mbamute. That one falls coming off Johnson's feed. Mbamute has got his first 3 points of the game.
I don't know if that was by design or by accident, but the D not paying any attention to him.
From 10 feet out, some solid defense there by Nene. Houston's gone 3 of 7 from three-point range in the first quarter. Meeks with it. He's against Green. Meeks dishes to Frazier. Eric Gordon with the rebound. And for Houston, they're shooting 56% in this first quarter. An outstanding start for this offense. A chance here to assess what parts of the floor the attempts have been coming from as we look at the shot chart for Washington.
And they've been avoiding those deep threes. They're capable of knocking those shots down from long range, but so far they've really been reluctant to let it fly from that free throw line extended three-point shot.
And he makes the first. And Chris, one of the rare honors for an NBA player is to have their jersey retired. The Kings retired your number 4. What does an honor like that feel like? What does that mean to you?
Man, it meant so much to have my jersey retired. I was there with my family, my wife, my brothers, sisters, parents, and everyone. And so it was just a really, really great moment. You know, when you're playing the game, you can really, we say enjoy the process, but you never really can really enjoy it day to day because you're always thinking ahead, trying to get better. And so it was just a really cool moment to sit back and think about all the positive things we did in the city, for the city, and definitely for the game of basketball. So it was a great feeling, and, you know, Sacramento forever. I thank them for that, and I love them there.
Wonderful years, indeed. And it's Eric Gordon with the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Here's Oubre. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. The Wizards working the ball around now. Scott kicks to Oubre. Out to the wing. Frazier with it. And it's Gordon picking him up. 4 on the shot clock. Shot off the pick. And it's good for 2. Frazier's got his first points of the game.
They're scoring boatloads of buckets. It's raining buckets from inside.
Gordon against Frazier. Gordon the pass to Johnson. The Rockets again can't hit.
And already they've staked out a noticeable advantage in terms of aggression and controlling the backboard.
Yeah, Kelly Oubre, the first rounder out of Kansas. I mean, he's a player that still has some development to do. Looks great in open court. Needs to be more consistent.
And for Kelly Oubre, the shot is coming along. Has been taking more threes, Chris, but it's just a matter of time probably being able to do it for long stretches in a game.
Yeah, different players take different amounts of time to figure that out. He needs the confidence to take his man off the dribble. Slowly, he's starting to trust himself.
Gentlemen,
more.
2 shots. 2 shots.
The first one falls.
Well, one thing the Wizards have done a good job of is making use of the corner 3. It's the most efficient shot in the game. Wizards make sure they have that as an option on a lot of their sets.
He doesn't get the second one. And if you look at the personnel of the Wizards, it makes sense that they get so much use out of the corner 3.
Well, not just because they have good shooting team from distance, but they have John Wall that breaks down the defense, attracts other defenders, which leaves wide open players for jump shots.
It's Scott on the wing. Oubre kicks to Meeks. And out of bounds as the Rockets gain possession. The grind of the NBA season wears on, but what a pleasure this year is turning out to be. Let's check out the West and see how the standings look. Take a look at the Warriors. They're looking extremely sharp right now, poised in the top spot and playing very well. And, of course, Houston a couple spots below.
And you know, Houston, as talented a team as they are, has performed at a very high level this season. Everything's gone according to plan up to this point.
That's why you have to give a ton of credit to the players in terms of how they've played all season. And they aren't done yet.
1:52 left in the first quarter. Scott, good.
Wow, what a pass there. He made that a very easy basket with that setup.
Screen by Baamute. Johnson kicks to Gordon. For three. Rebound, Washington. This, of course, their first opportunity to play Houston this season.
Yeah, and a bit of a revenge game for them as they were swept in the two-game season series from last year.
Yeah, for sure. This is a team that feels like they should never be swept in the season series by anyone, but especially when it comes to one of the heavy hitters from the other conference.
Got that one up quick. Meeks got his first bucket of the night. Houston leading by 4. Nene, the screen. Green dishes to Nene. Outside Gordon. Nice fake, but the layup off the mark.
That's how you protect the rim. Stand your ground and make him alter his release.
Over in the corner, Meeks. 34 seconds left in the first quarter. A shot by Frazier, no good.
Well, his shot hasn't been going in, and they will probably have to look for someone else to step up and provide for him.
The Rockets shooting their 4th and 5th attempts at the free throw line tonight. And the first one drops.
And the versatility Johnson offers, it can't be forgotten. I mean, this is a guy that can play 3 to 4 positions, a lights-out shooter who also has that clutch gene.
And the Rockets making a change here. Paul's checked in. Johnson hits them both. Wizards trail by 6. 19 seconds left to play here in the first. Paul against Frazier. Mahimi, a screen on Paul. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Mahimi, a screen. Meeks outside, and he's good on the 3-ball. Meeks got 5.
And you can see there the defender gets caught up on the pick.
Team ball. Great execution on offense. Everyone working together. You wish you could have that on every play.
And don't go away. We'll be right back. And earlier, Chris Paul told us about the depth of their roster. So important for any team.
Our bench is amazing. It's so exciting because when our bench comes in, more often than not, if we're losing, they're going to get us the lead. And if we have the lead, they're going to increase the lead. And it's fun to watch because everybody cheers for each other, too.
When your starters feel that good about their second unit guys, that's a heck of a asset that a team can have. And if you've seen Chris Paul cheering from the bench, you know that it's very, very true.
And Kevin, that's the kind of team that's always been so much fun to play on. Everybody's really pulling for one another, no matter who's playing. Even in practice, with that kind of a team, you tend to have more fun.
And so far, it's been a closely contested game as we get the second quarter up and going. And when you consider how the Rockets are doing, guys, what are your thoughts?
Through that first one, they've turned this thing into a track meet.
Well, I'll tell you what, when you allow them to speed up the tempo, there's a good chance you're going to fall behind.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. Taking a look at the Wizards. Scott is out there with Oubre. Then there's Frazier. Then it's Jody Meeks. And it's Mahinmi in at the center, locking down the middle. Frazier against Paul. He tries for three. A shot by Frazier, no good. Houston in the lead. And the pass to Green. Shoots over Meeks. And Mbah-a-Moute kicks to Green. Another shot. Count that one. Green's got his second basket of the game.
Well, he can be a sneaky cover inside enough game to convert in traffic.
Paul against Frazier. Taken away by Nene. And it's Houston on the break. Meeks with the steal. It's 2-on-1. A pull-up. And Mbah-a-Moute pulls it in. Houston leading by 3. And that's a foul called on Kelly Oubre. That is his first foul of the game.
Yeah, that's a tough call right there, and really a tough break for the D.
Wizards making a switch here. Porter's checked in. Houston also making some changes. Anderson, he's checked in for Mbah-a-Moute. Ariza comes in for Joe Johnson. And James Harden subbed in for Gerald Green. Here's Ariza. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Trevor Ariza, the veteran out of UCLA, he still gives you a little bit of everything on the wing. He's great in transition. He can hit shots from anywhere, but, you know, he's always been a leader.
And with Ariza, you think back to when he was a young player finding his way in this NBA out of UCLA, and Kobe took him under his wing when they played together for the Lakers, and now he is paying it forward. He's helping young players. Yeah,
he has a great work ethic instilled in him from with his time with Kobe. He's always been a leader. He knows how things work in this league, and Ariza, he's showing all the younger players on his team the ins and outs of how to succeed.
That free throw good from Trevor Ariza.
And during Ariza's career, he has established himself as an effective role player and fantastic outside shooter and a tenacious defender.
Here's what Washington's going with right now. Gortat's checked in for Mahinmi. Morris comes in for Scott. Bradley Beal's checked in for Meeks. And John Wall's subbed in for Tim Frazier. Clint Capella, he's checked in for Houston. Both free throws good from Trevor Ariza. Well, you knew that the Rockets were going to be an offensive juggernaut with their roster and Mike D'Antoni at the helm, but seeing it in action is still jaw-dropping at times. I mean, you're amazed. They can put up a lot of points in a hurry.
Yeah, and the team plays at an incredibly high pace, which accounts for some of their big numbers. But they do a good job of finding smart shots and making the most of their possessions. This team can truly be scary when they're clicking.
The drive by Beal over Harden, and the shot falls short this time. The feed now to Anderson. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time. Harden's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Second quarter of play with almost 3 minutes gone. Wall against Paul. And the slam dunk by Wall.
Look, you can't allow Wall to get a lane to the rim. He's too fast.
For the Washington Wizards, they won their last contest that game against the Hawks.
Just a terrific effort off the bench. Guys came in, they seemed fresh, and they all contributed.
Well, and they played more than just a supporting role. I mean, without their points, it would have been tough to get that role in.
Porter kicks to Beal. There's the pick. Morris a screen. Wall against Paul. Lock at 6, and it's going to be a 3-second call.
And here's a look at the stats for Bradley Beal. His last 10 games, he's putting up about 14 points a night, 4 assists, and 2 rebounds. Not bad numbers, but for a player of his talent, you have to think he can do more.
Oh, no doubt. He's been inconsistent. Unusual for him, though, but when he turns it back around, watch out.
And here's Harden for 3. Buries it from 3-point range. Harden's got 9.
and Harden's shot selection, mostly three-pointers or attacking the rim. That's how he achieves his incredible efficiency.
There's a screen by Gortat. Gortat with a screen on Paul. Wall against Paul. Now here's Wall. He's guarded closely. Here's Morris. Here's Gortat. Well, it was only a matter of time, but they finally get the bucket. Gortat's got his third basket of the night right there. Beal against Harden. Pass to Anderson. Left side Ariza. Paul outside. And he got the whistle, so he'll have a three-point play opportunity.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
For so often there are some players who have one unstoppable move or something that they'll lean on if their team needs a basket. What did you feel your go-to move was when you were playing?
You know, I've said this many times. I just felt like my go-to move was just get a bucket. And so it depended on where I was on the floor. You know, I love the jump hook from the left block looking in. My 15-foot jumper, 17-foot jumper. I felt that if I came off a pick and roll and I caught the ball live, I could drive or I could shoot the jumper, that if you were a big fella, you were at my mercy. And so, you know, those were really my spots on the floor to really try to do damage. So, you know, it's just about the point guard, the team that you're playing with, where shooters are on the floor, in case you get double teamed, and just kind of knowing your game. And so I felt comfortable on many spots on the floor, and depending on what spot on the floor, time and possession, that's where I was going to go and just try to be successful.
I always felt you read well. You reacted well after your read.
Yeah, because, you know, I grew up on teams where coaches, you know, would want me to do the correct play, and just because you can shoot a jump hook, your favorite shot over two people, but if you have a wide open, great knockdown shooter in the corner, you're supposed to make that pass. And so that's what I mean about, you know, what's your favorite move? It really depends on where I was, because a lot of times it was to get my shot first, and then if I knew the defense was coming, it was to identify where that next guy was going to be. So if I didn't score, I was going to get the ball to the guy that was. And it was an easy way to kind of control the pace and play from the game from that post position.
Ariza against Porter. Ariza goes in, and the bucket counts. Three-point chance here.
What amazing concentration from Ariza. So good at welcoming these hits and finishing his stop.
On the night, he's gone 2 for 2 at the stripe.
And when he's gotten himself to the line this season, he's come through right around 74% of the time.
Eric Gordon, he's checked in for Paul. Well, the Rockets, Chris, aren't known for their defense, but it probably gets a worse rap than it should. They allow a lot of points, but it's mostly due to their pace of play.
And part of that is just a viewpoint from the past few years. I mean, Harden says he's recommitted himself to the defensive end, which has helped set the tone. Defense does just enough to let their offense win games.
Time called here. The Wizards decide to talk it over. As the teams head into this timeout, a chance for the coaches now to map out some plays for the next few minutes, and a chance for the players to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's important if they want to make sure they don't wear down later in the game.
Absolutely. Over the course of a game, you have to stay hydrated.
Wall passes to Gortat. He feeds it to Beal. Lets it go from deep. The shot, no good. And Houston the other way now.
A good board there, Kevin, but overall they're getting slightly out-rebounded.
Ariza with the bucket.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Wall dishes to Gortat. Down low, Morris. And Morris throws it down.
Wow. The size of Morris helps him down low, especially when he decides to sky high for the dunk.
Harden kicks to Gordon. Back to Harden. No good. Wall with some nice D. Wizards trail by 11. Make it 5 for 10 with him in that bucket.
He's giving them a nice lift this quarter. The shots are falling for him.
Houston's gone to the three-pointer 11 times tonight and nailed 5 of them. Harden sets the pick for Gordon. Right through the D for the layup. Gordon's got his first basket.
Fearlessness. Gordon using his strength to get off a good quality look inside.
Here's Beal. The shot's good.
Just reliable, guys. He's just always trying to make the right play.
Rockets leading by 9. Ariza kicks to Harden. Out to the right wing. Back to Capella. Pass to Harden. 5 to shoot. Lets it go. And that one goes long. The Wizards have gone 7 of 15 from the field here in the second quarter. Just under 50% shooting. It's good.
Oh, you got to love watching Wall find his rhythm out there. He's fantastic at using his size and speed to get the shots he wants.
Here's Harden. And it goes for the 5th time and 10 shots for him this game.
He has a little bit of trickeration with that one. Gets that one to go against the limb.
Well, let's just call it what it is. Great body control on the lane, takes the contact, still knocks it in softly off the glass. I mean, that shot just can't be blocked the way he adjusted.
Rebounded by Capella. Rockets have gone 8 of 16 from the field in the second quarter. A nice efficient 50%. It's stolen by Morris. 4-on-3 break. Here's Porter. Rockets with the rebound. Capella's got 6 rebounds now in the game. Harden the pass to Anderson. And it's sent back by Morris.
Oh, man, look at Morris. Use his reach to turn away a shot. He's excellent at cornering shooters and sending their shots back.
Porter kicks to Wall. On the wing, Morris. 3 on the clock. Back to Wall. Wall with another miss. Houston leading by 9. It's Harden with the drive. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Wall. What an asset to a team when you've got big men who can knock down free throws. Look here at the top centers and power forwards in terms of free throw percentage this season. 5th on the list, Markieff Morris.
And a lot of these big men take the confidence they have in the paint straight to the free throw line with them. I mean, that makes them very hard to handle.
Well, probably because they have that confidence that the D can't stop them. It's really demoralizing to the defense when they have to resort to fouling continuously.
Time called here. The Wizards decide to talk it over.
Well, James Harden has always acted as the initiating guard in any offense he's been in, but last year he just took it to a new level. Coach D'Antoni, Harden was running the offense. He ended up with double-digit assist numbers for the season.
And Washington making a change here. Scott's checked in, and a switch here also for Houston. Green's checked in. There's the dish to Mahinmi. Not going to go that time. Some solid defense there by Nene. And those assist numbers for Harden, a career high by a mile. Crazy to think a player who came in from Arizona State was viewed as a spot shooter is now a double-digit assist guy.
You know, people always debate whether or not Harden is a point guard or a shooting guard, but honestly, who cares? He just has game. His role in the offense is that of getting buckets or setting up teammates. I mean, to assign a label to him, for what? He has game.
The Wizards shooting the 6th attempt at the free throw line tonight.
One shot.
Free throw, no good for Oubre. Well, some big men in the league who are just superb at swatting away balls. guys that you think right now are the best rim protectors, Chris, in the league?
Well, I think there's three, and it's a no-brainer with these three. I think one of the most intimidating, or the most intimidating, you have to go to DeAndre Jordan. He is the most athletic big man I've ever seen in my time in playing basketball. And with his length and his size, he can get up and block a shot quick. He can even get out there and guard some guards. We've seen him move laterally. Hassan Whiteside, this big fella has really improved his game, has really focused, gotten better in the offseason, and it's not something crazy to see him have a 10-block game. So I love seeing him. And then Rudy Gobert, we've seen him come on and become that inside dominant force for the Utah Jazz. So those three to me, really don't have one that stands out, but those three to me are the best on the defensive end when we're talking about big man defenders.
And he knocks down the first one.
Well, it had been a little bit of a bumpy ride for Mike D'Antoni before coming to Houston. He had underwhelming results in New York and LA before taking time off from coaching, but he's found great success since coming back with the Rockets.
And both free throws good for Green. And when the Rockets hired Mike D'Antoni, there wasn't a lot of fanfare, but this has turned out to be one of the best fits in his coaching career. In fact, he was the NBA Coach of the Year last season.
Yeah, you never know how a coach will mesh with the team, and D'Antoni has fit in perfectly here. He made some changes early on and has the Rockets as a great offensive powerhouse. Even has the team playing some defense. I mean, something his teams have never been known for.
One shot.
On the free throw, no good. And Chris, you spent a handful of years in Washington. When you look back to that time in your career, is there a favorite moment that that stands out to you?
Well, it was early in my career when I was with Washington, and I learned a lot about the league. And I think ending the Washington playoff drought that they had been in for so many years was part of the reason why I wanted to go there, and that was a lot of fun. Making my first All-Star team as well was pretty cool.
And the miss, not the best shot selection there.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
Gordon, that's in, coming off an assist from Johnson. And it's 6 points for Eric Gordon.
He just looks more engaged this second quarter. A far cry from his disappointing play in the first period.
Meeks on the wing. There's 1:17 left in the first half. Here's the screen. Goes up from the top of the key. Nene pulls it in. Nene's got 5 rebounds tonight.
It's clear this just isn't his night. I mean, if they're going to keep him on the floor, I think his best role would be to be a decoy. Well, the Rockets have a pretty simple game plan. Put up a ton of threes and get as many deep threats on the floor as you can.
And often we can exaggerate about how much a team hoists up the threes, but it isn't an exaggeration with the Rockets. They do it at a record pace.
Oh, yeah, at times last season, almost half of their shots were from three. By far the most three-point attempts in the league. I mean, you look at their offensive numbers, and clearly it was the right approach for them.
Free throw drops for Green.
Strong take to get the foul there after not getting it there in the first quarter.
Both free throws good from Green.
No wasted trips at all. They're taking care of business at the line.
Right wing. Outside, Scott. He dishes it to Meeks. Back to Scott. Nice ball movement by Washington. Over in the corner, Meeks. Washington needs to get a shot off here. His three-pointer's off the mark.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control. And not the guy you want to send to the line. He has been automatic.
Well, Greg, for 2 straight seasons before this, the Wizards have had a starting 5 that all average double figures on the year. The engine of this offense, I think, is the backcourt. but they can all hurt you, don't you think?
No doubt about it, Kevin. Having a balanced offense like they do makes it tough for teams to prepare defensively. You can't just double or key in on Wall or Beal because they do a great job of facilitating. I think the bigger question moving forward is just going to be, what will the impact of that bench be? And ultimately, that's going to determine whether they can contend.
Good on the second free throw. Wizards trail by 19. Frazier kicks to Meeks. Frazier outside. Over in the corner, Meeks. Gordon against Frazier. 5 on the clock. Here's the floater. And it's Nene with the rebound. Johnson goes in. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. This is his second trip to the free throw line. And he knocks down the first one. And he makes the first but misses the second. Frazier. No good on that one. And so it's the Houston Rockets closing out the quarter with a 20-point lead. And it's been their rugged defense setting the tone. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks very much, Bradley. The old saying, no rebounds, no rings. How important is it to continue to have 5 guys go to the glass in the second half?
Yeah, all five guys. But I think we're too worried about getting out in transition. So I think 1 through 5, including the guards, I know we all got to get in there and rebound.
You can't score unless you have the ball, right? Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And we'll be right back after halftime to start the third quarter. See you in just a bit.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson. This big mountain of a man is Shaquille O'Neal, and this hill of a man is Kenny the Jet Smith. Houston found themselves in a close game in the first. At the end of the period, they held a 3-point lead. They just exploded in the second quarter, grabbing the momentum and running with it. Basket after basket, and they played stingy defense. Now they've got a halftime lead that's going to be very difficult to erase. Kenny, what do you think about the Rockets?
Well, we have to talk about the unbelievable job they've done rebounding the basketball. They've sent bodies flying to the boards on every possession. They've been a stronger, quicker, tougher team by a wide margin. And it's that dominance on the glass that's going to win them this game.
Shaq, what was your takeaway on Washington?
Not pretty to watch how they get torched in the low post, Ernie. When they were playing defense in the post, you know me, Ernie. Barbecue chicken alert, barbecue chicken alert. This team is going to have to up the pressure, play more physical in the second half, start a fight, throw some bowls. Let's go.
And now, folks, just moments away from the start of the third quarter.
Welcome back, folks. A lot to see in that shot from high above Washington, the Capitol, the Supreme Court, the Lincoln Memorial. That is one heck of a view. And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started. Without question, Trevor Ariza displaying his skills today.
His points production thus far off the charts. It's only been 2 quarters, just a great effort for him for the entire half.
Yeah, right. I mean, the defense hasn't had an answer for this guy yet. Just too skilled, too driven thus far.
Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first 2 quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback. And on the floor for Mike D'Antoni starting the second half. Filling out the wings, it's Harden and Ariza. Anderson is down low with Capella. And it's Paul in at the point. Here's Beal. An easy layup after coming off the pick. Beal's got the first points of the second half here for the Wizards. Harden kicks to Anderson. Ariza with it. Now guarded by Porter. Capella dishes to Ariza. Goes to the reverse layup and drops it in. Ariza's got 20.
Ariza's scoring from everywhere. His jumpers, him driving inside, from beyond the arc, at the free throw line. He does it all.
Wall with it. Kicks it to Gortat. Feeds to Porter. Morris inside. Ariza covering. Morris, no good.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
Offensive rebound. Paul passes to Anderson. Over Morris. Tries yet again. Kicks it out to Paul. Anderson outside. And some nice passing there by Houston. Harden's shot is off.
Having a little bit of trouble at the start of the half. Only 1 for 4 from the field.
And Chris, when you see Harden coming down the lane at you, there is a very short list of players who can instill that much fear. Pretty much him, Westbrook and LeBron. Each have their own style, and Harden's might be the most refined of all of them.
Well, that's why he gets to the line so much. His speed, his handles, his ability to pull back on the three, his Euro step. When Harden gets going downhill like that, you just don't have an answer for him.
On defense, Washington. They've only allowed 2 points so far here in the second half.
Man, you hate this. Getting off to a rocky start in the beginning to this half. Only shooting 20% from the field.
And a wide open look for Porter. And the 3 off target. Rockets leading by 20. Now here's Harden. 14 points for him. And Anderson kicks to Ariza. Over in the corner, Paul over Wall. And Chris Paul the bucket on the assist by Ariza. Ariza's got 4 assists now tonight. Just under 2.5 minutes into the third quarter now. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Porter dishes the Wall to the middle. Goes back up. Anderson with the block. And it's Houston on the break. Whistle on the play. Bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Ryan Anderson has such an easy stroke from distance. You can't help but notice it. He plants his feet so well and has a reliable motion.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. 1 shot.
And with Anderson, you talk about how quick his shot can come off, how quickly he gets that baby away. Chris, he really can open things up as a forward who needs a man close to him at all times.
What makes Anderson such a great deep ball threat is his height along with the release that he has, because his release is so high.
Washington calls timeout.
Yeah, some of it's shot selection, some just bad luck, and they just can't get anything going.
Well, this is the dilemma as a coach. You wonder, do I need to call a timeout here? Do I need to settle these guys down? Should I let them play through it?
Wall against Paul. And Wall kicks to Beal. A floater. Rebounded by Capella. Capella's got double-digit rebounds now in the game.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Porter against Paul. Shot clock at 6. Gortat with the steal. And Porter, here we go. That's good. And so Wall with the assist.
And look, Porter knows how to score inside. He possesses great quickness, and he has that length also to finish in the paint.
Paul against Wall. Harden inside the three-point line, and he tries off the glass, but it's no good. Here's Porter, and so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2. It's going to be on James Harden.
People may not see how quick Porter is on these drives. Sometimes the D has no choice but to whack him.
When Otto Porter came into the NBA, he really didn't have a shot to force opponents out on him. Now, Chris, he's worked on it. He's transformed himself into one of the better shooting forwards out there.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if teams didn't get the memo or what, but for a while they were still giving Porter those shots, and he was knocking them down. His field goal percentage from the floor and behind the arc have both taken huge leaps forward over the past few years.
First one falls for him.
You know, the versatility of Porter is huge. I mean, he's an outstanding perimeter defender, in addition also to being a proven scorer.
And Porter drops them both.
Well, it took some time to develop, but Otto Porter is starting to put everything together. He was considered a bit of a project when he came into the NBA, drafted 3rd overall, but all the promise is now being fulfilled as he is a great do-it-all forward.
Morris against Anderson. Back to Ariza. Shot clock at 5. In it goes for the 8th time in 10 tries.
He's been in control here tonight, helping them get in front with his work from the field.
And you forget at times that Otto Porter was taken 3rd overall, Chris, as you mentioned. He's shown great development. He's had a big jump in play year after year.
Yeah, but so often guys who are considered projects that are picked early, they never develop. Porter was a risk, but made sure he lived up to his draft spot.
Now Paul, 10 points for him. Jacks up a 3. Ariza no luck.
And you know what? You can't get a better screen. Frees him up beautifully, but he just fails to capitalize.
The best laid plans, right? Well, I tell you right there, though, that's one they'll take every single time.
Screen by Capella. Paul passes to Harden. Wall with the steal. Beal against Harden. Outside, Wall. And Capella sends it back.
And you know what? He's just not on his game. No doubt about it. Their deficit isn't totally on him, but he has not been an asset for his team.
Ariza kicks to Anderson. The Rockets again can't hit.
And it's just one of those days, guys. He has just struggled to shoot the basketball.
Here's Wall using his post moves to get the 2 points. Wall's got 14 points.
Oh, Wall is great at using his body inside. Isn't afraid to throw his weight around down there.
Screen by Capella. Paul outside. Lob pass to Capella. Gortat with the steal. And now Porter pushing it up. No one. Oh!
Oh, the lightning quick reflexes of Porter. They're just outstanding. Crafty at coming up with steals.
And the highlight reel replay brought to you by Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. Excellent work by the talented people in our production truck as well. Capella dishes to Anderson. And the layup is good after a nice lead pass. And the Rockets lead by 16.
That was all about the assist. Great pass to set up the shot.
Washington calls timeout. And one reason why the Rockets were okay with letting Dwight Howard leave was because they knew that Clint Capella could fill that role. He quietly gives this team that finisher down on the block, and he has been absolutely, Chris, huge for the Rockets.
Oh, yeah, maybe the best in the league at finishing off lobs last year. Not the most spectacular, but the most consistent last year on that pick and roll because he's so active without the ball. Always moving, giving guards a target, great hands to catch and finish.
Washington making some changes. Mahimi comes in for Morris, and it's Jody Meeks in for Bradley Beal. Houston with a big group substitution here. Nene, he's checked in for Clint Capella. Bahamute comes in for Anderson. Joe Johnson, he's checked in for Trevor Ariza. And Gordon subbed in for James Harden. 5 to shoot. Here's Porter, and finished off by Porter.
Well, Porter is a quick player, jumping right down the throat of the defense with his speed on the drive.
Gordon kicks to Paul. Nene, the screen. Paul passes to Nene. Rebound, Washington. Wall's got his 3rd rebound tonight, and Chris Paul picks up the foul. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. Washington making some changes. Mike Scott's checked in for Gortat. Kelly Oubre comes in for Otto Porter Jr., and Tim Frazier subbed in for John Wall. Frazier against Paul. Now, here's Mahimi, guarded closely. He kicks it to Oubre. Passes it to Frazier, over Paul. Hits the front of the rim and out.
Well, look, his teammates are going to stop giving him the ball if he keeps taking shots like that.
Dishes it to Gordon. Paul outside. And the pass to Johnson. Shoots from 14, and the rejection by Mahimi. And here we go. Washington fast break. Meeks leading the charge. And again, Washington no good.
He just never looks comfortable when he's that far away from the basket.
Johnson's shot is off. Here's Washington. They're on a 15-4 run right now. Meeks can't hit. And there's the foul. It's on Tim Frazier. That's his 1st foul. Rockets leading by 14. Paul goes in. 2nd chance shot. And count it. He'll head to the line with a chance to make it 3.
And you just hate to give up those 2nd chance points.
It can be discouraging, frustrating, but you only have yourselves to blame. Box out. And you think back to some of the highest paced and up-tempo teams in the league. This Houston group is right up there with all of them. They look to push it on you the second they get a chance.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. 1 shot.
Free throw, and Bahamute, good. And with the pace the Rockets play with, Chris, it isn't just running as soon as they can. Part of the decision to have Harden as the point guard last season was to speed up their playmaking from the beginning.
Well, the Rockets have streamlined everything and cut down the total time to run their sets. That's why they get so many possessions in the game. They know the more chances they get with their offense, the better the results are for them.
Here's Scott. Here's Mahimi. It's good from in tight.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
Here's Gordon. He's got 6. Paul outside from downtown. The shot will not fall. And it's Washington the other way. They'll be playing host to Chicago for their next game. They'll find themselves in the middle of this string of 3 straight at home. Johnson kicks to Gordon, and they pick up 2. Gordon's got 8 points.
And bullseye with that assist. Nice delivery there in traffic.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Meeks on the wing, defended by Gordon. Mahimi, and he uses the glass on the layup. Mahimi's got his 2nd bucket of the night.
Oh, terrific pass work. That shot's a lot easier after an assist like that.
Houston leading by 15. Nene, the screen. Johnson outside. Eric Gordon on the wing. Clock at 6. Gordon with another miss.
They haven't been able to count on his scoring tonight, but still, here they are in the lead.
And the foul called on Joe Johnson. That's foul number 2 for him. Green, he's checked in for Paul. The feed to Meeks. Here's Frazier. Off target with his 3.
And extending the D there, putting a lot of pressure on the shooter.
Yeah, because you're spread out. It can be difficult to contest these shots, but not for him.
Nene kicks to Green. Count that one. 13 points in the game.
Oh, the feed was perfect. The timing, the placement, everything was right on the money.
Pass to Meeks. Back to Frazier. Up again. It's hauled in by Gordon. Rockets leading by 17. Green dishes to Nene. And Nene with the stuff.
Oh, fellas, that was vicious two-hand monster slam.
Guys, I don't think there was anyone who could have stopped him on that one. Frazier kicks to Meeks to the wing on the left. Nice ball movement by Washington. Inside. Mahimi's shot is good. Mahimi's got 6.
And you're not going to pass up that kind of look.
And for Houston, they're shooting 41% from the floor so far in the third. Gordon kicks to Johnson. He feeds it to Green. Gordon with the screen for Green. Tries again. He takes it up and lays it in. And the Rockets lead by 19.
Nice work to get in position for the rebound and the putback. He has no off switch.
Over to the left wing. Frazier kicks to Scott. Meeks on the wing. Frazier outside. 6 to shoot. He tries for 3. Another miss by Frazier.
He keeps battling, but so far this quarter, he hasn't been able to get it going.
And Bahamute, the pass to Johnson. On the wing, Green. He's guarded by Meeks. Gordon a screen. That will count, and that's not going to go. And so it's Houston with a 19-point advantage heading into the next quarter. They have been excellent at both ends of the floor. The scoreboard showing what a complete performance this has been. We'll return shortly. And we're getting underway here in the fourth quarter. The scoreboard tells the story in this matchup, but we'll see how much things change up here. And it's the Rockets with the ball. Earlier in the game, they held a 25-point lead. Frazier is out there with Jody Meeks. Then there's Scott. Then there's Oubre. And it's Mahimi in at the 5 down low. That's the group on the floor right now for Washington. And it's a defensive 3-second violation.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
Chris, you look at the way the game is played now. We have seen some retired players say it is soft.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is soft when you look through their lens. That's true. But that's the way that the game is today. And so if you're a fan just coming to the game now, or, you know, if this is the game you love, you accept it and you keep moving on. As long as the fans love it, as long as the players are having fun with it. But definitely, compared to the 80s, to the 90s, there's no doubt about it that the game is soft as far as physical play. But at the same time, look what it's produced. It has allowed players to show the beauty of an offensive jump shot, of an offensive move, and also made defenders get that much better because you have to move laterally and can't use your hands to guard.
Just 2 to shoot. Second shot opportunity. Green with the block.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A +10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
And again, Washington no good. Rockets leading by 20. Here's Gordon. Tries again. And it's Green, missing.
I like the burst to the bucket right there, but the finish has got to be better.
17-foot shot on the way. Scott. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. It's on Mbamute. The first free throw is good. And a new group getting ready for the Wizards. Morris is checked in for Mahinmi. Porter comes in for Oubre. Bradley Beal's checked in for Meeks. And John Wall's subbed in for Frazier. Houston with a big group substitution here. Clint Capella, he's checked in for Nene. Anderson comes in for Mbamute. Trevor Ariza's checked in for Joe Johnson. And James Harden subbed in for Gordon. Here is Harden. Final quarter of play, about a minute and a half off the clock into it. Anderson kicks to Ariza. Capella with a screen on Porter. Ariza dishes to Capella. Porter with the steal. Pass to Beal. Over Green. Here's Morris. And he battles for the ball and gets the second chance bucket.
Wow. Morris is a physical guy. Solid at staying active on the boards and gobbling up these rebounds.
Harden against Wall. And stolen by Scott. Here's Porter. And finished off by Porter.
Incredible reverse throwdown. Excellent body control.
And guys, I'd even go as far to say that was a punctuation dunk. Here's Harden. Wall grabs the board.
Yeah, good interior D there. Prevents the deuce.
Oh, wonderful anticipation. He reads the play perfectly. Then with the quick reaction time.
Back to Beal. The alley-oop layup. Very well done.
That's just great awareness from the savvy point guard. Wall is excellent at sharing the wealth.
Here's Harden. Wall with a block. And here's the fast break. Beal leading the way. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron. Beal's got 4 points now in the quarter.
And they've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
And just miss after miss right now. And there's the foul. It goes on Ryan Anderson. That'll be his second foul of the game. Gortat's checked in for Washington. Morris with a screen on Green. Wall passes to Morris. It's stolen by Capella. Goes up.
Nasty. I mean, and when you look at the big man Capella sprint down the floor, when he's finishing in transition, it has to motivate the rest of his teammates.
And Wall kicks to Morris. Porter outside. Rockets with the rebound. Capella's got rebound number 12 here already in the game. The dish to Anderson. The three-pointer no good.
And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can't count on him to continue missing. And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
He's almost obsessed with drawing contact and getting to the line, and Harden has an endless number of ways to do it.
Two shots.
The first one falls.
Impeccable from the line since halftime.
And the Rockets making a change here. Paul's checked in. And he makes both free throws.
And Harden was the runner-up for the MVP award in 2015, a dynamite player, and continues to excel in all aspects of the game.
Here's Wall. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. Chris Paul picks up that one. Well, there are a lot of incredible athletes in the NBA, but Chris, in terms of pure up and down speed, John Wall might be the best.
Oh, and it seems like Wall almost does that once a game, doesn't it? I mean, in the open floor, he can just run by most guards, and he's great at controlling his speed and changing direction.
So he gets them both.
Well, there's a few things that make Wall important to his team, but I think the #1 factor is his leadership. His guys look to him to set the tone on both ends, and he doesn't disappoint.
Wall against Paul. Here's Ariza. No good on that one. Nice D from Porter. Wizards trail by 12. Oh, Morris in position. Out of bounds. Houston takes possession.
Well, the defense had nothing to do with that turnover. They're just fortunate. That's just plain sloppy passing.
The Rockets shooting a mediocre 41% in this one. Harden against Beal. Here's Paul. Gortat with the block.
Oh, that's just the long wingspan of Gortat. I mean, it's highly effective, especially how he swats away shots.
And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Anderson. And it's Washington's ball. They're on a 12-4 run right now. Wall against Paul. And Wall. Here we go now. Great positioning on the putback. That gives him a double-double in this one. 10 points and 14 rebounds.
Oh, that's just the long arms of Gortat easily stretching out to gobble up rebounds.
And there's a whistle. That's going to go on James Harden. That's foul number 2 for him.
Yeah, way to get there first and be willing to absorb the contact.
Kicks it to Morris. And Capella sends it back. Here's Ariza. Basket is good, and he'll get a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Well, there's not much else the D can do. Ariza is too long inside, effortlessly getting off his shot just in time.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
The free throw drops for Ariza. It's interesting to see the impact of technology on the game, too. I heard LeBron James. A lot of players now review footage on a tablet when they check out their play.
Well, yeah, you know, back in the older days, a lot of us went to the locker room and you would go in the room and watch it on video. So it's the same type premise. It's just that, you know, technology is better today. I mean, every guy wants to do it. You want to know what you're doing well, what you're doing wrong. You're all a coach on the floor. You're the quarterback, and LeBron especially is the quarterback of his offense. So it doesn't surprise me before that he's studying tape.
Yeah, getting there is before the defense can set up.
Now, that's just the aggressiveness of transition, making sure they come away with points.
Well, you look at Markieff Morris, and you see a player, Greg, who is finally meeting his potential.
And you know what? Give credit to Morris because he's fallen in line with the team and the staff here. I think he's always had the talent to be an impact player. It just took a structured situation for him to really flourish, and I think he's found a home here in Washington.
That free throw good from Morris.
Wow, they've made every free throw here in the second half.
Wall against Paul. Anderson the screen. Ariza has the open look. Another miss by Houston. Here's Washington. They're on a 17-7 run. Beal dishes to Morris. Had a chance there to cut it to single digits, but it's off target. Ariza kicks to Harden. And some nice passing there by Houston. Gortat with the steal. Wall against Paul. Outside, Wall. He dishes it to Gortat. Good work defensively by Capella.
Oh, great effort there. That's how you defend the paint.
Yeah, he has that capacity. He knows exactly where to position himself to protect the rim.
And he can smell blood in the water. Excellent finish.
Oh, yeah, up by double digits. They're trying to keep the momentum, keep the foot on the neck. That's his focus right now.
Here's Gortat. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops. Gortat's got 4 this quarter.
Oh, look, I just like how Gortat is using his size inside. He has a wonderful touch on these interior shots.
Here's Wall, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
Yeah, the defender all over him.
Well, when the question of who has the best handles comes up in the NBA, John Wall should be in the conversation. Of course, Irving and Curry might be at the top. But Wall isn't far behind. He can absolutely lose a guy with one of his crossover behind the back, flip up, down, zip-zap moves.
And that one falls for John Wall. And Chris, with Wall and his dribbling ability, one advantage he has is that he's able to do great things on the floor at full speed.
Well, I could think of several examples where Wall just left his defender in the dust at half court. Such a fluid behind-the-back move with his speed that defenders is so hard for them to check.
And so Wall nails both of them.
And just a better job of getting to the line here in the second half. Didn't get there once in the first.
And here is Capella. Back to Harden. Just 5 on the clock. Over Beal. Harden missing again. Wizards trail by 8. Wall, that's a 2-pointer. It's stolen by Capella. Paul against Wall. Paul passes to Capella, and it's Ariza in the corner. Fires for 3. Washington with the rebound.
And I wouldn't put it past him, guys, to eventually start hitting those, given what he did in the first half. It took a long time for him to get that first triple. Let's see now, though, if he can get going.
Rockets leading by 5. Paul outside. Feeds it to Harden. Passes to Ariza. Screen by Capella. Ariza dishes to Paul. And he got the whistle, so he'll have a 3-point play opportunity.
Oh, he had him spinning. He looks like he's dizzy after that crossover.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
Boy, I mean, the career Paul has had just in terms of being a great point guard, there really are no words left to describe.
Morris with the screen for Wall. It's Morris atop the key. The rebound by Anderson. Anderson's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Gortat with the steal. And here we go. The Wizards fast break. 11 feet away. Beal can't get it to go. Houston leading by 8. Harden kicks to Paul. Down low. Here's Anderson. Comes up empty down low.
And it's still a close game. I mean, despite the fact that they've struggled to compete on the boards.
Paul against Wall. Takes the 13-footer. The rebound by Anderson. Anderson's got 8 rebounds in this game.
A frustrating start to this quarter for him.
Gortat with the defensive effort.
Does well to burrow his way into the post, but loses his touch on the finish.
It's good, and the Rocket lead is cut down now to just 6, and the basket from Bradley Beal.
Oh, you got to admire the sharp shooting ability of Beal, especially from the mid-range when he is lights out.
Right wing. Ariza outside. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Oh, you love how physical Ariza is, just attacking the D and earning the call in the process.
Now, gentlemen, truth shots. Roof shots.
That one is off. Good on the second free throw. All with it. He kicks to Gortat. Count it, and the Houston lead has been cut down now to just 5 on the basket for Morris.
Oh, Morris welcomes these type of pressure situations. He likes showing he has what it takes to nail these shots.
The drive by Paul. Yep, it counts. Paul's got 5 points in the quarter.
And the fearlessness, willing to sacrifice his body for a high percentage look.
Here's Wall. It's rebounded by Houston. Anderson's got rebound number 9 now. What an effort here tonight. Ariza passes to Anderson. Now here's Paul. With some arc, and it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. It's going to be on John Wall.
Shooting 2.
It's the first, and that stretches their lead to 8. And so he drops them both. It's a 9-point ball game here. 1:19 left in the fourth quarter. Morris a screen. Porter dishes to Morris. To the paint. Here's Gortat. And it's Gortat finishing it off.
Look at Morris break down the defense on this play. If they leave one of his guys open, he's going to get it to him fast.
Here's Harden. And the jam by Harden.
Oh, how about using the rim to get some true hang time?
You know, he just wanted to make sure the landing was softer than the takeoff. Washington has gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the fourth. Here's Gortat, and that comes off the assist by John Wall.
And you really got to appreciate Wall. I mean, always surveying the floor. Just wonderful recognition when his teammates are open.
Paul against Wall. Back to Paul. Out of bounds. Washington takes possession. Time called here. The Wizards decide to talk it over. They're behind by 7. 40 seconds left to play in the final quarter. And now we've got a moment for our Jordan Player of the Game, Trevor Ariza.
And what an amazing ball game we've seen from him. It's been a one-man show worth the price of admission all by itself. There wasn't anything he couldn't do on that court tonight.
And at last, he gets a little redemption. You know, it's been several games since he's been at his best. He's really been having a tough time. Good! And now they trail by just 4.
Porter is fantastic in these spots. When his team needs a bucket, he feels comfortable shooting.
Ariza. Here's Harden. Dishes it to Ariza. And so they choose to intentionally foul. So the first one drops, and that puts them up by 5. And so both free throws are good, and it's a 6-point ball game.
And he just garnered a little bit more insurance there. Very confident as he's able to go up and knock those down.
Washington calls timeout. They're trailing by 6. 27 seconds left to play in the final quarter. .27 seconds left in the game. They grab their own miss. And count it. He'll head to the line with a chance to make it 3.
Look, I love how calm this is. I mean, even during these huge possessions, love his composure.
Free throw good for Morris.
You know, I like Morris. He's a valuable contributor on both ends of the floor. Now, he's a sniper from deep, and he can definitely lock you up on D as well.
And they foul intentionally. That's what they have to do at this point.
You have to foul, but I'm sure they would have liked to foul someone different.
So he gets them both, and it's a 5-point game.
Making this a 2-possession game. That's the benefit of knocking down the easy ones.
Here's Wall. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
Did you see how hard Wall went inside? He welcomes the contact on every play.
And he misses the first one. Boy, he wanted that one to fall. And he ends up making the second, and that shrinks the margin to just 4.
That one miss was huge. He had a chance to turn this into a 1-possession game.
And they need to stop the clock, so there's a foul.
Had to foul, and on that occasion to stop the clock. That's the enemy in this situation.
I love and admire Anderson's consistency. A terrific stretch 4, a real matchup problem for many teams.
And the second of 2 is good. That puts them up by 5. Porter kicks to Gortat. On the wing, Morris. Outside, Wall. It's Porter. Outside. No good that time. So we see the Rockets get the win here. They seem to relish their role as the bad guy here tonight.
You know, Kevin, I sense that as well. I mean, they really did feed off all of that negative energy this crowd was directing at them. I mean, they turned it around and used it as motivation to close out a significant win.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, Kevin. Congrats, James, on the win. This is a very tough team. What does it mean to beat them?
It meant a lot. We wanted to come out here and play with some energy. Guys made shots defensively. It was a gutsy win for us.
I'm sure you'll see these guys again. Thanks, James. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. And that'll do it, folks. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Chris Webber, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. See you next time.